What I enjoy about the holiday season is the love and company of family and friends.
Always like to think back about the holidays and traditions that I might have.
To bring a smile, a real joy on Christmas morning is my absolute favorite thing to do.
The holidays to me is a time to pause and reflect.
There's been a lot of news that brought joy and hope to our city this year.
In 2025, I like for residents of the city to realize we're one thread in a woven fabric that make the city of Gary what it is.
And my wish is that we just take that energy into 2025.
Through our collaborative efforts with residents, that our city would be transformed.
And I can't wait to see what 2025 brings for us.
I believe safety will be a byproduct of that, and I think that this will start us off with a great new year.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Mayor Eddie Melton of the great city of Gary, Indiana. My wish for the citizens of Gary is a healthy and prosperous new year. And I just wanted to wish every citizen a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
What I enjoy about the holiday season is the love and company of family and friends.
Always like to think back about the holidays and traditions that I might have.
To bring a smile, a real joy on Christmas morning is my absolute favorite thing to do.
The holidays to me is a time to pause and reflect.
There's been a lot of news that brought joy and hope to our city this year.
In 2025, I like for residents of the city to realize we're one thread in a woven fabric that make the city of Gary what it is.
And my wish is that we just take that energy into 2025.
Through our collaborative efforts with residents, that our city would be transformed.
And I can't wait to see what 2025 brings for us.
I believe safety will be a byproduct of that, and I think that this will start us off with a great new year.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Mayor Eddie Melton of the great city of Gary, Indiana. My wish for the citizens of Gary is a healthy and prosperous new year. And I just wanted to wish every citizen a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Good morning. I'd like to call to order the Board of Public Works and Safety meeting for December 23rd, 2024. If we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. May we have a roll call to confirm quorum, please?
Member Green?
Present.
Member Allen? Secretary Morgan? Vice President Dumas?
Present.
And President Suggs?
Present.
Mr. President, we have 3 present and 2 absent.
With quorum, we have established with 3 members present. We have a legal meeting. At this point, I'd like to move on to the swearing in. I would like to have the new firemen come up and line up in front of the stage here. Good morning, gentlemen. Congratulations. Wonderful to have you here. I'm Michael Suggs, President of the Board of Works for the City of Gary. I would like all of you to raise your right hand, and I will ask for you to speak your name, and you can all speak your name at one time. I, speak your name, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the State of Indiana, and I will faithfully and impartially discharge my duties as a firefighter for the City of Gary, Indiana, according to the law and to the best of my ability, so help me God. Say, I do. Thank you. Excuse me. Mayor, would you?
Congratulations, Jim.
I know I'll catch you this time. Thank you. May we have the police recruits, please? Stand in front of the table, facing the audience. Can you slide to your left just a little bit further so we can get everyone in front? Okay, we're gonna try this again. When I say I, you state your name, and I'll break this up in smaller pieces so you can respond here. I state your name. Right hands up, I'm sorry. Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America, the Constitution of the State of Indiana, and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties as a police officer for the city of Gary, Indiana, according to the law and to the best of my ability, so help me God. Congratulations.
You can have a seat. Let's give them both a hand, ladies and gentlemen, one more time. I want to thank President Suggs of the Board of Public Works. I want to thank all of the members. I want to thank all of the family members that's here, friends. This is a special day for the city of Gary. I want to, number one, commend both Chief Tillman and Chief Cannon for their leadership. I want to thank them for holding strong on a commitment. We've come into office, this is our first year, all of us in leadership here in the city of Gary. And one of the charges I put before them was to make sure that we put forth a strong effort to recruit both men and women to serve the city and to help protect and serve as well. So I want to commend them for their efforts. I want to thank both the FOP and the fire department, Local 359, for their partnership and collaboration. It is extremely important that not just the citizens of Gary, but also those employees and those that work every single day see us all working hand in hand in collaboration together to make a greater Gary. I serve as mayor of the city of Gary, and it's a distinct honor and privilege to stand before you today as we welcome and celebrate the newest members of the Gary Fire Department and the Gary Police Department. You have chosen this not just as a career, but a calling, a commitment to protect and to serve and safeguard the lives of the people of the city of Gary. It is a noble path, one that requires courage, resilience, and an unwavering dedication to the well-being of others. When you decided to step and join in the ranks of these departments, you accepted the challenge to uphold the values of integrity, professionalism, and compassion, and define public service. And today, as you stand here or sit here, you are becoming part of a proud legacy, a legacy built on the sacrifice and achievements of those who came before you, those that paved the way for a safer and a stronger Gary. To our police recruits, you will serve as the guardian of our streets, ensuring that justice and peace prevail in our neighborhoods. To our fire recruits, you will stand on our front line in defense against some of the most unpredictable and dangerous challenges a city can face. When others run from danger, both of these groups will run toward it. And to the families, we will say thank you. We will continue to stand alongside the families, and we'll continue to pray for peace and protection over each and every one of them. I want to remind you that your work is more than just the actions that you take. It's about the lives you touch, the trust you build, and the examples that you set. And I want you to know that as you step into these roles, you are not alone. You are joining teams that will become your second families. You will rely on each other in other ways that fewer people will never experience. And the bonds you build will last a lifetime. Moreover, you have the full support of this city's administration and the community you now serve. And I also want to acknowledge your families again and loved ones who are here today. Your support has been instrumental in bringing these recruits to this very moment. And as they begin this journey, I urge you to carry forward those values that we spoke about earlier. And once again, I want to say congratulations. You are the future of Gary's public safety, and we are immensely proud to have you on our team. Let's go forward together, united in our mission to serve and protect, and this city will continue to do that with you. God bless.
Good morning. Larry Tillman, Chief of the Gary Fire Department. What a wonderful day to start the holiday season with these new members of public safety for the Gary Fire Department and the Gary Police Department. First off, I would like for you all to give yourself a round of applause for the friends and the family. It's not easy today to get a lot of people to the finish line to be public safety officers in our communities today. You hear about the shortage in the workforce all over the place, and so I know that you all are key and instrumental in their success here with the city of Gary. Some of you probably woke them up this morning to make sure that they was on time to get here, probably made sure that they made it to their physical agility tests, their written exams, whatever else they had to do. And we're still going to need that support from these friends and families that are out here in this audience. When you turn them over to us, it's not a regular job, like the mayor said. This is a calling. You become a part of our family, and we appreciate you for letting us have your friend and family serve alongside us. The times that they'll be away from home, we know it's as stressful on you as it is on them. And so we just thank you for that. That is a commitment that we know that you're giving us, and we are going to be good stewards to the friends and family that you've trusted us with. And we're going to give them back to you better. We're going to take care of them. We're going to make sure that they're successful in everything that they do. And so we just thank you for partnering with us. We would also like to thank the Gary Fire Civil Service Commission and the Gary Police Commission for taking part. They had to take those applications. They had to make sure all this stuff was done, and they worked tirelessly to make sure that the operations of the police department and the fire department go well. I won't be long. I'm excited. I'm happy to have you here with our family. This is a great holiday season, and I just welcome you to the city of Gary, the Gary Police Department, and the Gary Fire Department. I see none of you could have made a better decision, but it's all right. We'll be okay with it. But we just thank you all for coming out. God bless.
Good morning. I'm very proud and humbled to be here today. It was just 20-something years ago. I was right here standing in the same spot, raising my right arm and getting sworn in at the same time. I just want to be really brief, real quick. I know that the mayor talked about guardians. That is a true statement. You are now the guardians of the city of Gary, police and fire. The community depends on you. It's going to be a big weight, but we're going to be there to be able to help you through it. There's a very thin line between good and evil, and you are now becoming that line, and you're going to be making the difference. When it comes to the family that's here, I'm very appreciative, and I'm very excited when I saw the room extremely full with support that really, really makes a difference. And I'm going to tell you this, so as the firefighter changes, they're in their sword for axe, or the police officer changes their cape for a vest, we are creating superheroes here in the city of Gary that's going to be able to do a fantastic job. And so I'm excited. I know everybody else is here excited, and I'm just great to be here in front of you just to be able to share those things. And so I want to say thank you again. Congratulations to everybody. I was reminded my name is Derek Cannon, and I serve as the Chief of Police for the City of Gary Police Department. Very honored to do that. We're going to retire now to the Gary Room and let the Board of Works get back to their meeting. There'll be refreshments down there. There's opportunity to take pictures down there. There's opportunity to talk to other city leaders down there. So all of the family and friends, if you can gather yourselves at this point, not be too disruptive at this time, but we have some things, great things waiting for you down there. Thank you. Thank you again.
What I enjoy about the holiday season is the love and company of family and friends.
Always like to think back about the holidays and traditions that I might have.
To bring a smile, a real joy on Christmas morning is my absolute favorite thing to do.
The holidays to me is a time to pause and reflect.
There's been a lot of news that brought joy and hope to our city this year.
In 2025, I like for residents of the city to realize we're one thread in a woven fabric that make the city of Gary what it is.
And my wish is that we just take that energy into 2025.
Through our collaborative efforts with residents, that our city would be transformed.
And I can't wait to see what 2025 brings for us.
I believe safety will be a byproduct of that, and I think that this will start us off with a great new year.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Mayor Eddie Melton of the great city of Gary, Indiana. My wish for the citizens of Gary is a healthy and prosperous new year. And I just wanted to wish every citizen a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Agenda, the approval of the meeting minutes for December.
Mr. President, I move to approve the minutes from December 18, 2024.
Second.
There's been a motion made and properly second to approve the meeting minutes. Is there any discussion on this matter? Hearing no discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The minutes are approved.
Mr. President, I would like to move to amend the agenda to add correspondence from the Community Development Department in reference to ARPA agreements.
It's a motion on the floor. May I have a second?
Second.
Motion on the floor to approve the Community Development contract from ARPA. It's been properly seconded. Any discussion on this motion? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes.
With a vote of 3 yes and 0 no, the motion carries. Contracts are approved. At this point, let's move on to item 6, which would be claims.
Mr. President, we have before us claims to be paid on December 27th. General fund is $70,667.74. Special revenues including Park Department, landfill closure, general fund, casino, PEP, court, green urbanism grant, solid waste recycling grant, media fund, park construction, workers' comp and unemployment, $66,530.59. Public safety income tax, ambulance, non-reverting and market park, $13,358.18. Total to be paid on December 27th, $150,556.51.
There's a motion to approve claims to be paid on December 27th, 2024. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on this motion? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green?
Yeah.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes and 0 no's.
With a vote of 3 yes and 0 objections, the claims to be paid December 27th has been approved.
We also have before us ratification of claims and payroll. For the ratification of claims, we have the general fund, LDA Casino and Park Construction, $135,388.94. And for ratification of payroll, $2,189.36. I move that we approve ratification of claims.
There's a motion on the floor to approve ratification of claims to be paid.
Second.
Motion on the floor has been properly seconded. Any discussion on this motion? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes, 0 no's.
With a vote of 3 yes and 0 objections, the ratification of claims have been paid for approval, approved for payment.
That concludes claims.
Let's move on to item number 7 on our agenda, correspondence and agreements.
Yes, Mr. President. The first correspondence we have is by way of the mayor's office in reference to the Think Big City of Gary contract with Center of Workforce Innovations for Workforce Development. This is reference to the Think Big. This initiative was already approved to be allocated by the Gary Common Council. This will strategically allocate and ensure highest impact of the Think Big initiative. The total contract is for $1,667,741 to provide workforce engagement as well as additional support for cleanup and beautification of the city of Gary. At this time, I would like to move to approve the contract for $1,667,741.
There's a motion on the floor to approve contract with Center for Workforce Innovations, a work development contract in the amount of $1,667,741. Is there a second on this motion?
Second?
It's been moved and properly second. Any discussion on this motion?
Just add that the contract was set out to be billed. This is not a one lump sum payment. They will be billed over the next 2 years in regards to 30-day invoices. So funds will only be rendered upon services being rendered. And the agreement does contain the language that was requested in which the individuals that will be hired will be Gary residents.
Any additional discussion on this motion? Hearing no additional discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes, 0 no's.
With a vote of 3 yes and 0 objections, the workforce development contract with Center for Workforce Innovation has been approved.
Mr. President, the next correspondence is by way of the Law Department. The first one is in regards to Morning Bishop Theater Playhouse. Morning Bishop Theater Playhouse is receiving nonprofit organizational grant funding by way of ARPA from through the Community Development Department. They have submitted said application and provided all proper documentation. The total amount for the funding is for
15,000, not to exceed. Not to exceed 15,000.
not to exceed 15,000. Thank you. Not to exceed $15,000. At this time, I would like to move to approve the nonprofit grant for Morning Bishop Theater Playhouse.
So the motion on the floor to approve an ARPA grant not to exceed $15,000 for the Morning Bishop Theater Playhouse. Is there a second?
Second?
It's been moved and properly second. Is there any discussion on this issue? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval?
Member Green?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes, 0 no's.
With a vote of 3 yes and 0 objections, the ARPA grant contract for Morning Bishop Theater Playhouse and not to exceed $15,000 has been approved.
The next correspondence is by way of an interagency agreement between the City of Gary, Mayor's Office, and the City of Gary Police Department. This is in reference to the ARPA dollars. The total amount is for $500,000 in reference to the animal shelter. This agreement will satisfy the requirement to ensure that the contract and those funds are earmarked to be used for the renovation of the animal shelter via the Gary Police Department. This contract or this dollar amount was already approved by the Gary Common Council by way of ordinance as well. At this time, I would like to move to approve the interagency agreement for the City of Gary Police Department Animal Shelter.
It's a motion on the floor to approve the animal shelter, $500,000. Is there a second on this motion?
Second?
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on this matter? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes, 0 no's.
With a vote of 3 yes and 0 objections, the interagency agreement for the Gary Police Department for the construction of a new animal shelter at $500,000 has been approved.
The next correspondence, Mr. President, we have is from an interagency agreement between the City of Gary's Mayor's Office and the City of Gary Department of Health. This reference to the already allocated amount for the Mobile Mental Health Initiative from the City of Gary, approved by ARPA. The total appropriated amount was $1,500,000 that was allocated, whereas approximately $1,437,600 of funds are still available to be spent through till the end of 2026. The contract terms and what the item was approved for is not changing, and the health department is here if they want to give a brief update.
Good morning. There you go.
Okay. My name is Shakara Gunn. I am the Behavioral Health Manager for the Health Department. So the funds will be used to give monies to various organizations that will bring mental health services to the city. Those services will look like preventative services, they will look like crisis intervention services, and they will both benefit youth, older adults, and as well as addictions.
Very good. Any questions? Thank you.
At this time, I would like to move to approve the interagency agreement between the ARPA dollars and the City of Gary Department of Health.
There's a motion to approve the interagency agreements with the remaining funds of $1,437,600. Is there a second?
Second?
It's been moved and properly second. May I have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes, 0 no's.
With a vote of 3 yes and 0 against, the interagency agreement with the Department of Health and the City of Gary has been approved.
Mr. President, the next correspondence is from the Law Department. It's a contract for professional services between the City of Gary and the law offices of Ashantre Irving. The said contract is to provide law services and scopes out the work. This not to exceed amount is the not to exceed amount is $30,000 from January 1, 2025 to December 31st, 2025. At this time, I would like to move to approve the contract from the Gary Law Department to Ashantre Irving Attorney at Law.
It's a motion on the floor to approve the professional service contract between the City of Gary Law Department and Chantre Irving Law Services. Is there a second?
Second?
It's a motion on the floor and properly seconded. Is there any discussion on this motion? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes, 0 no's.
With a vote of 3 yes and 0 no, the professional service contract not to exceed $30,000 has been approved.
Mr. President, the final correspondence from the Law Department, sorry, two more, sorry. The next correspondence from the Law Department is a professional service contract for Louis Kappas, Attorney at Law. This contract is for a not to exceed amount of $50,000. This is in reference to legal services that will be provided through the year of 2025. Again, it's a not to exceed amount of $50,000 with said billable hours and documentation being provided throughout that term, and providing support to the law department. At this time, I would like to move to approve the contract for Lewis Kappas, attorneys at law.
There's a motion on the floor to approve the contract for Lewis Kappas, law.
Second.
The motion has been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on this motion? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
And President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 3 yes and 0 objections, the professional service contract between the City of Gary Law and Lewis Kappas Attorneys has been approved.
The final correspondence from the law department is for Tolbert and Tolbert LLC. Tolbert and Tolbert contract will be providing legal services and support to the Gary Law Department in reference to litigation and additional services. This is for January 1, 2025 to December 31st, 2025, with a not to exceed amount of $100,000. This is for the entire year, providing additional legal support to the law department. At this time, I would like to move to approve the contract for Tolbert and Tolbert Law with a not to exceed $100,000.
There's a motion on the floor to approve this professional service contract between the City of Gary Law Department and Tolbert Law Firm, not to exceed $100,000. Is there a second for this motion?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion on this matter?
Mr. President, I'd just like to add, just in case somebody's wondering, we have 3 contracts that we're passing. The previous one for Lewis was to appear in court. The one for Tolbert is for representing Redevelopment Commission, also Corporation Counsel, and other legal matters as assigned by the City Law Department.
Thank you for the clarification. Thank you. At this point, I'd like to move on to line item number 8, unfinished business. Oh, we did? I'm sorry. Roll call for approval, please.
Yes.
Member Green?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 3 yes and 0 objections, the professional services contract between the City of Gary Law and Tolbert Law Firm has been approved. Now, may we move on to item number 8 on the agenda, unfinished business? I thought we approved it earlier.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Seeing no unfinished business, let's move on to item number 9, new business.
Mr. President, this is the amended item to be added to the agenda. These are interagency agreements between the City of Gary and the Community Development Department in reference to projects that were approved under ARPA by way of the Gary Common Council, and this is to ensure that the scope is provided. The first agreement, Mr. President, is an agreement in which will be held under the Community Development Department. This is in reference to funding for housing development within the City of Gary. It provides additional scope. Again, this funding was approved by the Gary Common Council for a total amount of $1 million. The $1 million will be able to provide support and for housing development within the City of Gary, as additionally to be scoped out in the upcoming year. At this time, I would like to move to approve that contract agreement for funding for housing development with the Community Development Department.
There's a motion on the floor to approve housing development contract for construction of new homes with the Community Development Department in the City of Gary in the amount of $1 million. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion on this?
Mr. President, I'd
Yes.
just like to mention that some of these amounts may differ only because the nonprofit, as example of the $725,000, we just had $15,000 we approved today. So that has to be deducted from that amount. but it's not to exceed, so I just would like the department to know that they need to check with us on their balances.
So Controller Green, I'm sorry, I just realized this. The legal department actually wrote it as one agreement for all 5 categories. Should I withdraw that motion and restate it to add all 5 in one agreement? Or do we do them separately? I just want to make sure that we're following what is necessary for, because they just wrote them all into one agreement.
That's probably a legal question. I think I would have done them separately, but I don't know legally.
So we'll do them separately. Okay.
So, any more discussion on the motion for the new housing? Roll call for approval, please.
Member Green?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 3 yes and 0 objections, the contract for housing construction for new development department, community development department has been approved.
Mr. President, the next one is for housing opportunities for down payment assistance. The down payment assistance set forth in the agreement, again, was approved by the Gary Common Council. The total not to exceed amount is $1,637,002. Again, it was set out to be based upon public safety as well as city employees, and then actually any individual wishing to purchase a home in the city of Gary receiving these dollars. At this time, I would like to move to approve the agreement, the interagency agreement for the housing opportunities down payment assistance.
There's a motion on the floor to approve a community development interagency agreement for down payment assistance in the amount not to exceed $1,637,002. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval?
Member Green?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 3 yes and 0 objections, the interagency agreement for down payment assistance has been approved.
Mr. President, the next
Yes.
one is the small business support grant. This was earlier allocated in previous years under ARPA. There is a remaining of $253,000 in funds. This interagency agreement would allow for the not to exceed amount to allocate those funds to 2026. At this time, I would like to approve the remaining small business support grant funds not to exceed $253,000 to be reviewed and approved by the Community Development Department.
It's a motion on the floor to approve a $253,000 not to exceed grant for small business support. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any discussion on this matter? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval?
Member Green?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas?
Yes.
President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 3 yes and 0 objections, the small business support grant not to exceed $253,000 has been approved.
Mr. President, the next one is for shelter renovations. This is for allocation for, that was allocated for the shelter to be renovated. The total amount remaining in funds is $38,425 remaining. At this time, Mr. President, I'd like to move to allow for community development to review and approve the remaining funds in this interagency agreement of a not to exceed amount of $38,425.
There's a motion on the floor for a shelter renovations grant not to exceed $38,425. Is there a second for that motion?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on this matter? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas? Yes. President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 3 yes and 0 against, the grant for shelter renovations not to exceed $38,425 has been approved.
Mr. President, the final agreement is for the remaining of the nonprofit grant dollars that was approved by ARPA and the Gary Common Council. The remaining funds is a not to exceed amount of $725,000 in nonprofit grant funds. The community development will continue to process and review those as approved under ARPA and approved under that said agreement. At this time, I would like to move to approve the nonprofit grant dollars to not exceed $725,000.
There's a motion on the floor to approve the not-for-profit grant funds not to exceed $725,000. Is there a second for that motion?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on this matter? Hearing no discussion, may we have roll call for approval, please?
Member Green?
Yes.
Vice President Dumas? Yes. President Suggs?
Yes.
Mr. President, the vote is 3 yes, 0 no.
With a vote of 3 yes and 0 against, the non-for-profit grant funds for $725,000 has been approved. Let's move on to item number 10 on our agenda, public comments. Sir, are there any public comments pending in queue?
No.
I'm seeing the list here for public comments is empty. I'd like to open up the floor for anyone in the room who has comments for the board. Hearing no comments, I'd like to move to item number 11, adjournment of this meeting. A motion.
So moved.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? The meeting is adjourned. Thank you for attending. Happy holiday to everyone.
What I enjoy about the holiday season is the love and company of family and friends.
Always like to think back about the holidays and traditions that I might have.
To bring a smile, a real joy on Christmas morning is my absolute favorite thing to do.
The holidays to me is a time to pause and reflect.
There's been a lot of news that brought joy and hope to our city this year.
In 2025, I'd like for residents of the city to realize we're one thread in a woven fabric that make the city of Gary what it is.
And my wish is that we just take that energy into 2025.
Through our collaborative efforts with residents, that our city would be transformed.
And I can't wait to see what 2025 brings for us.
I believe safety will be a byproduct of that, and I think that this will start us off with a great new year.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Mayor Eddie Melton of the great city of Gary, Indiana. My wish for the citizens of Gary is a healthy and prosperous new year. And I just wanted to wish every citizen a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.